prompter to...
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special night. We're going to have Shona putting on her brave wings and sharing her wonderful presentation to us and wonderful concept and model that she developed. But before we go to that, I'd like us to I've already welcomed, so I'd like to welcome again Kazang. She is our guest tonight. So let's make it beautiful experience to Kazang. And I also would like to welcome Karen. Karen is our latest member. I met Karen in another networking group, and she is a photographer. So she created a bunch of photographs for me. So, hello, Karen.
Hi, everyone.
Great to see you here. And so before Shona starts, I would like us to go into celebration. Let's celebrate what we have achieved in the last couple of weeks. And the person to start off, I would like to invite Christina, because not only she has had some celebration to share, has some celebrations to share with us tonight. I've seen her posts, but she also would like to step on a stage and put the brave wings and share. And she's disappeared. Oh, she's here, and and she would like to share quickly what she is preparing for us. I'm very excited. As you know, Christina is an artist, and so she has developed this special program for coaching in an artist way, and it also has another title to her program. So I would like Christina, if you step in and share your celebration and as well your idea, what you would like to share with us in the future.
Thank you so much, Yolanta, and welcome everybody tonight. What a pleasure to be able to speak to all of you. I really appreciate it. So my business is Coaching the Artist Way, and I've put together two of the loves that I've got, and that is creating art, and everyone's waving, creating art and life coaching. And I've created a program which was launched this week called Brave and Unstoppable. And the whole idea behind the program is if you bring your brave to the room, together we will become unstoppable, because when we join together with other like-minded people, that's when we build true community. So the creative community that I'm building will consist of getting together once a week and doing group coaching. On top of that, which is epic enough in itself, I'll also monthly be doing a creative art class, and then quarterly I will run a full day art workshop, which will all be included for less than a cup of coffee a day. Wow. And so I'm making the program as accessible as possible for everybody. And because I really believe that if we start working on ourselves and start changing the way in which we think in a more creative manner, and then also start expressing ourselves creatively, we can start unlocking those things inside of us that have held us back from being the person that we want to be, and by have stopped us from achieving the things that we want to achieve. And so that's sort of it in a wrap. And the other celebration is that just recently I launched a book called Forgiveness, and it was a collaborative book, so there's many other people in it, not just me. And I believe Gina has some celebrations as well.
Yay, Gina. Yay, Christina.
So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. That was lovely. And
I'll put a link.
If you wouldn't mind to share the link to,
yes.
I know you have a special 99 cents that people could buy that book. So let's just share that again. And Gina, I know you have a celebration.
Yeah, thank you. Firstly, congratulations to Christina on both her program and her book. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And like Christina, I'm very pleased a few months ago, I was very pleased actually to launch a book, and as of the 15th of November, I should say November, it became a bestseller. So it's a collaborative book too. But I'm very proud of my chapter 1 in the book called Beyond Limitations. And I'll happily share a link to that too in just a moment if anyone would like it. Again, you can get it at the moment prior to Christmas for 99 cents on Kindle. Of course, if you want a signed copy of my hard copy book, just let me know and I'll write you a nice message and get it to you.
Can I ask a question, Gina?
Yeah.
I don't have Kindle. Is it only through Kindle or?
No, you can get it on Amazon. I'll put the link up.
Yeah.
You're trying to put your background up. I'm sorry, Shona, but
That's okay. Take your time. You've got the whole session.
the file's not showing, even though it's it's definitely in there. It's just not appearing.
Doesn't want to present. Have you got too many ones? Like two?
I just deleted 3 to try and get it
still
in.
not
But it's
doing
actually only letting me attach video
well.
or images, and it doesn't seem to be coming up as an image when I click that. So I'll keep trying. But
Yeah, keep trying. Trisha, I might just try and pop it in for you in the chat. We'll probably pop it in later as well. Just as a reminder. Awesome.
And also, I noticed Trish joined us. I don't know Trish. Is Trish Shona's contact?
Yeah, I've got 2
welcome,
contacts
Trish.
that I've invited tonight.
Thanks for
Beautiful.
having me here. It's lovely to be here with you all. Really is very exciting. And yeah, lovely to be here and listening to Shona's talk tonight and to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Just in relation, quickly before Shona, before you start, Christina, I've opened your link and I believe your link should be showing 99 cents special, but it doesn't.
No, it's to the hard copy. I haven't got the the Amazon thing up yet.
Right.
I don't know how to do that. I can't do
because
that.
I noticed you sent a post earlier today, and in the post I believe there was a link. Is it? Because I was going to do it and I just left it.
I think that might have been Gina's link. That's Gina's link. Yeah. Gina's got the special on with Amazon, whereas mine's not right. I don't think it's on Amazon at this stage. And we're waiting for hard copies to come.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And the other link was to the membership, and it's got all the details about Brave and Unstoppable.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so I am conscious of time, and so I'd like to pass over to Shona, but I just want to read a little introduction to tonight, if you are open for that. So Shona is going to share with us the human experience. So, and we are all human beings and living very human experience every day. And our life journey begins when our light lights up. The light is our empowerment. Have you noticed that the quality of your life experience is continually changing? You are in harmony and peace at times, and other times you feel shame, guilt, or fear. Welcome to the human experience. It's totally up to us to handle our vibrational energy so we can have great relationships, health, and career, and live a meaningful life. But the question is, how? And tonight, Shona will take us on the vibrational journey and teach us how to achieve better outcomes by consciously maximizing our staying in our vibrations. Remember, we are human and will sometimes fall into the lower vibrations. With Shona's 5-step tool, we can expedite this cycle and return to our high vibrations and much faster. So please put your hands together and invite Shona to the stage. It's all in your hands, Shona.
Thank you so much for that, Yolanta, that introduction. I'm just going to share my screen. Before I do that, I'm going to just ignore the notes. Present screen. Fantastic. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Yolanta, you've pressed the record button. You have, hey? Yeah, awesome.
Yes, I have. But
awesome.
the screen you're sharing is the present. Oh, now it's okay. Sorry.
It's all good now?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. It is so good to be sharing this space with you this evening. Thank you all so much for showing up from my heart to yours. It really does mean the world to me that you're here. I want to firstly begin by thanking Yolanta immensely for the opportunity to come together and share with you our light. Our time and energy are our most valuable transactions. And for this reason, both Yolanta and I are super grateful to you, Trisha, Christina, Gina. I'm just trying to find the rest of you on my screen. Elizabeth, Andrea, Kazang, Sudha, Karen, Tanya, hello, Gail, Naroshi. Is that how I pronounce your name, Naroshi? I'm not sure. So if you haven't already, let's get active in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? What's the weather like? How is your day? How's everyone's hydration going? Does everyone have liquid? I have tea to support me tonight. How about a pen and paper? What else have we got here? Some pen and paper to write down those words that you wish to connect to tonight, or later on down the track that matter in these moments. As you can see, everyone's candles are lighting up in the screens. So you too have the opportunity to shine your light. Yolanta, I think I dropped a background picture in the chat if people wanted to grab it from there. And at the very end of this session, we will be having a photo with all of us and our lights shining bright. If you don't wish to participate, that is totally okay. We just kindly ask to pop yourself out of the video when the time arrives. So yeah, we totally respect and appreciate that. We will be having 2 unrecorded breakout rooms this evening so we can play 100% full out. How exciting is that? We will require a pen and paper for those moments. So I encourage you now, before we begin, to gather up your essentials and so you feel fully supported for the session. Can I please have a thumbs up, team, if we're all ready to begin? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Standards. Let's dive deep into beginning to set some standards for the session. I'd love to learn, what standards would you like to bring to this heartfelt space? Would anyone like to raise a hand, or do you want to pop it in the chat? Generating the most impact on our learning, sharing, and growing. I can't see the chat, so I might have Yolanta monitor that for me.
Yes. So Kazang said she wants to bring open mind to learn and grow.
Yes, I love it. Yes, yes.
Andrea would like to bring engagement and interaction.
Beautiful. I wish I had the technology so I could support all of these things. But yeah, I'll be popping Yolanta in and out of the conversation to update me on the chat.
And Gail suggests to lean and listen.
Yes, I love that. What great standards.
Gina wants to bring curiosity, love, and compassion for all of us here.
Beautiful. Thanks, Gina. That's amazing.
And Trish would like to bring showing up in all my fullness and connect deeply with like-minded humans.
Oh, I love that,
Awesome.
Trisha. Thank you. Thumbs up. Would it be okay if I
It's
were
one
to
more.
bring...
Karen
Oh, sorry,
wants
Karen.
to bring being open to learning and not get defensive.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
love that. That's a beautiful standard. Yeah, yeah. Would it be okay if I bring some of my standards to the session? How about we try on some freedom, opportunity to be our authentic selves, letting go of the masks and the unresourceful layers, holding us back from experiencing our higher vibrations. Double thumbs up. Would it also be okay if we bring some adventure to our session, trying on some new and familiar ideas, activities, and values, tapping into our behavioral flexibility? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Would it also be okay if I bring some abundance to the session? Our energy is our currency. What we give and receive in this session can be worth more than gold if we let go, lean in with passion and persistence. I'd also like to bring courage to this session, of course. If anyone is new to webinars like this, it could take a lot of courage to have your camera on, let alone collaborate during the session. This isn't just about me, though, delivering through a screen. It's about getting our collective minds, hearts, bodies, and souls fully activated and elevated to our highest potential. Who here have heard these standards before? Love it, love it. Who here agrees that having these collective standards might just be priceless and worth trying on outside of the session? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So shall we let the presentation begin? Our light is our most valuable asset of our existence. Too many lives are being lost daily as a result of not understanding, valuing, or conserving our light. Lifeline statistics today state 8.6 Australians die every day by suicide. That's more than double the road toll. This is all through ABS. 75% of those who take their own lives are male. Furthermore, an unknown number of Australians attempt suicide every year, with some estimates suggesting this figure may be over 65,000. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Australians between the ages of 15 and 44. The suicide rate in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people is twice that of their non-Indigenous counterparts. Australians in rural populations are 2 times more likely to take their own life by suicide. LGBTIQ community members report having attempted suicide in the past 12 months at a rate of 10 times higher than the general Australian population. Suicide deaths are felt up to 135 plus people per death, including family members, work colleagues, friends, and of course, let's not forget our first responders. Males aged 85 and older experience the highest age-specific rate of suicide. Lifeline have reported listening to an estimated 1 in 3 people feeling lonely. Aren't we all blessed to have a lifeline to share and listen if we choose to make the call? I'm just going to have some liquids. Won't be a moment. Our light is our soul purpose. The very reason we are all here today. Who here is feeling connected to their soul purpose? It's 100% okay if you're not. You're exactly where you need to be. If right here, right now, having this conversation, there is no wrong or right time in learning what our soul's purpose in life actually is. It has taken me a good 40 years to begin figuring that out. Now that I'm connecting myself to the environment, systems, actions, and people to support me, my soul's purpose shines brighter than it ever has before. Our soul's purpose isn't meant to be about money, family, career, or health. Yes, these drive us to our soul purpose, but they are not our soul's purpose. In 2021, I got curious. I had a bit of a fork in the road moment. Hands up if it would be okay if I shared a little bit about that fork in the road moment. Oh, perfect. I won't dive deep. Let's just say it was messy, foggy, heavy, destructive, and mostly undeniable and 100% irreversible. I was running on autopilot living, so subconscious, my soul was begging me to realign my mind, my heart, my health, and my soul consciously to become the most unapologetic, authentic version of me today, because I was way off track. So much so, I didn't even trust my inner compass anymore. Who here has experienced something like this before? Yeah, it's really powerful, isn't it? Our soul is the very essence of who we truly are, timeless, ageless, and eternal. Similar to a business, our soul also has a vision, mission, values, beliefs, attitudes, standards, and expectations. Who here has ever thought of our soul purpose like this before? Yeah, it's a bit of a game changer, huh? All of these things can change over time depending on our levels of consciousness we choose and our human experience that we endure along the way, and of course our behavioral flexibility. Carolyn Mace describes levels of consciousness similar to the floors of a building, and the top floor being the penthouse. Is anyone familiar with Carolyn Mace? Yeah, great. Some people are, some people aren't. That's totally okay. For those who don't know, Carolyn Mace, she is a 5-time New York Times best-selling author and internationally renowned speaker in the fields of human consciousness, spirituality and mysticism, health, energy medicine, and the science of medical intuition. Our building is our structure. We cannot move once we arrive. For example, I cannot tell my mum to squeeze me back inside because I don't want to be a part of what's created. All I can do is experience life and move through the floors at my own pace. We cannot control our external architecture, i.e., everything outside of our building. But by moving between the floors, we can change how we experience our external architecture. Each floor level of our consciousness depends on how we choose to experience our life in. Have you ever had one of those days where you became consciously aware of something that you had not seen in that light before? And because so, It changed absolutely everything you experienced around you. Yeah. Would it be okay if I used a really powerful example here from one of my experiences? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Beautiful. I subconsciously always knew the effects of drinking alcohol. The day I consciously decided to truly understand these effects, there was no going back. Everything around me changed. My vision, mission, values, beliefs, standards, attitudes, the whole lot, even including my language, neurology, and biology, ultimately my whole health. When we close a door on one level of consciousness, another door opens. I didn't stop at alcohol, mind you. I let go of caffeine and substantially reduced dairy, gluten, eggs, soy, corn, meat, and the list goes on. Introducing more fruit, veggies, and omegas onto my floor, all while having a very human experience. Let's explore a little bit about that. Our mind, the psychological driver of our very own human experience, the domain of our ego. Who here has a really supportive ego like mine that loves nothing more than to keep us safe? Pop a Y in the chat. Let us know how your ego is supporting you right now. Mine likes to create stories to protect me, triggering emotions in those moments where I feel it deep in my heart space. The domain of feelings over here. And as an effect, sometimes creating a response in my central nervous system. Every dimension of our being, our mind, our hearts, our bodies, and our souls, they all vibrate. High vibration is associated with lightness, and low vibration is denseness. This means that when we raise our consciousness, we begin to sense the lightness that surrounds that. Who here commonly hears the words light body thrown around? Anyone? Yeah, that's okay. Gaia describes our light body as a grid work of light and sacred geometry that brings together our mind, heart, body, and soul. This geometry radiates light energy and electromagnetically links all of us to our multidimensional self with the infinite universe. Just going to have a top up of liquids if anyone wants to do the same. So our light body is an energy body that exists at a higher level, closer to our soul than our chakras. We have 7 vibrational energy body centers and 3 light centers. That's a total of 10 that power up our whole body. I would love to elaborate more about the 10 body energy chakras, but I'm mindful of time, so I'll park that there for now and make it another focus point in another webinar in the future. Next slide. Consciousness. Consciousness is our energy. The power of our light is dependent upon the level of our consciousness. Again, once we close the door of one floor, we begin to explore a new level of consciousness. We become conscious about what goes on in our own universe. We become energetically mindful of the vibrations required to psychologically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually conserve our light body. It costs a lot to pull a perception out of ourselves, myths we believe to perceive as truths and inhabit our current level of thinking, being, and doing. Who here can think of one belief of your own? It could be one that's passed down through the generations, but it's no longer serving your current level of consciousness. Anybody? I have to expand my bear with me because I can't see everyone. Oops. Yeah, I've only got 6 people on the screen. Does anyone want to have a chat? It's okay if you don't. I can press on. Yolanta, if you see someone, let me know because I can't see everyone. I can think of one. Would it be okay if I share? Awesome. I used to believe that smacking my children taught them the difference between what's right and wrong. Boom. Big one. Who else shared or still shares this perception? Pop a Y or an N in the chat. No judgment here. We are all absolutely on our own learning journeys and are allowed to have our own differences of opinions and human experience. When we do change our beliefs, however, everything and everyone around us changes too. I don't know if you've noticed that. Our language, our neurology, our biology, ultimately our lives. Who here has thrown away a pattern that no longer serves them? Tell me in the chat. Did you notice your language, neurology, and biology change? Did it change your life? I can't really see anyone, Yolanta, so I don't know if anyone wants to share, but if you do want to share, just take yourself off mute. Is it okay if I share if nobody wants to share? In May, I decided it was time to turn coffee off and celery juice on. I chose language, neurology to support me and conserve my newfound way of being. My doctor just recently commented how younger, healthier, and happier I am. She said it was like I shedded 10 years off my life. It was really, really good to hear that because I had changed everything and a lot of things had changed, but then there were a lot of things that stayed the same. So it was nice to hear that. Elevating our consciousness changes our energy, our vibrations, and ultimately transcends our life into our next level of thinking, being, and doing.
Shona, may I just let you know that Yolanta is not able to see the screen at all. So I'm happy to share things that are in the chat from here on if you like.
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, Gina, for doing that. We're all just trying to make do with our technology right now, aren't we? So how do we think, be, and do to raise our vibrations? Pop what you think in the chat. Maybe we can pile a list together to support us now and into the future. For me, I won't pop it in the chat, but if someone wouldn't mind transcribing, you can pop these in as well. Coaching, timeline therapy, NLP, nutrition, exercise, tarot, manifesting, meditating, gratitude, journaling, yoga, our proximity of power that we calibrate with, float therapy, counseling, energy medicine. Whatever you guys have got there and populating in the chat is awesome. Thank you so much for contributing. The question really is, though, when we are alone and our vibration is dense and we are doing all of these things, how can we then raise our vibration? Anyone want to take a crack?
So Shona, in addition to all the beautiful things you've shared, we've got cooking, we've got reading, we've got art, music, journaling, gratitude.
Love it.
Some of which you can do alone.
Beautiful. I love it. It's great when you do the inside stuff and the external stuff as well.
And we've now got nature, call a friend, dancing.
Love it. I love it all. I love skating too. I actually started skating about 1.5 years ago when COVID hit. I brought myself a pair of rollerblades, and yeah, it gives me that little bit of rebellion back in my life. So I just love it. So that's a wonderful, beautiful, long list of self-love therapies and rituals that we can tap into, tools in our belts, raising our vibrations. I have a model though, a 5-step strategy that could be resourceful in these moments that I would love to share with you. Here we are, above and below the line in vibrations, inspired by David R. Hawkins and the International Coaching Institute. Sir David R. Hawkins, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was a nationally recognized psychiatrist, physician, researcher, spiritual teacher, and lecturer. He measured how we kinesthetically experience our consciousness in hertz. The strategy I have for you today, we will be exercising it in our very own 2 unrecorded breakout rooms. Thumbs up if it's okay if we begin with the lower vibrations. The only reason I ask this is because our energy might drop and the person listening, their energy might drop too. But once we're done, we'll together recalibrate using the higher vibrations so we can all leave the session with our candles burning bright. Shona, would you like to read what the below the line vibrations are, if you don't mind?
Sure. So at the lower end at 20 hertz is shame. Shame is categorized as feeling like something is wrong with us at a core level. Humiliation and suicidal ideas reside here. And that's followed then at a higher hertz, guilt, a dislike of one's actions rather than oneself, or an inability to forgive ourselves and having feelings of worthlessness.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, do you want me to keep going, Shona?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to click on the button.
Oh, no, it's all good. Okay, apathy comes next. Hopelessness, numbness, and victimhood occupy this level and are considered a feeling of victimization. Grief, living at this level of consciousness, is not the same as processing this emotion. You constantly feel like you are at a loss or a failure. Fear, feeling like the world is against you, and high levels of paranoia exist at this level. Desire, attachment to external goals at the level of addiction and deep hunger for power, money, sex, and status. Anger, this vibration can be where change happens or where someone gets stuck. Vanity and pride follows at 200 up to 200 hertz. The transition to positive emotion being above anger, vanity and pride are usually attached to external circumstances. For example, those who have attained fame through wealth and power of position as a result of everything outside themselves will require the courage and boldness to conserve their fame or power.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So below 200 hertz is considered the domain of problems, blame, denial, and drama. When we are experiencing our external being at effect, so to speak, the lowest vibration that we kinesthetically feel, as Gina explained, was shame. Does everyone have a good sense of how this energy feels when we are below the line vibrationally? Throw some language in the chat. What comes up when you're vibrating low or at effect?
It could maybe become a mood or end up in depression, disconnection, anxious, frustration, annoyance.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know if Yolanta can hear, but if she could drop the bear with me, I just lost where I was. Okay, here we are. I've got to change the slide. So this is our guidance steps. Yolanta's got a copy of the workbook that I created as a gift to take away from this session, another tool for our belt. So Yolanta, if you don't mind popping that in the chat for everyone to have, that would be amazing.
That's there right now, Shona.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. So basically, I'm just going to bump you guys over this way, or I'll just minimize you. I might get you to read the screen if you don't mind, Gina, because I've got people up on the screen and I can't see.
No problem. So guidance steps 1 and 2. Step 1, experience person A. Refer to a significant event from the past or in the present and describe your human experience for word to person B. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you felt. Step 2, release. Person B, with no judgment and full confidentiality, deeply listens to person A. Pay close attention to person A's language, neurology, and biology, and record notes around what you are hearing, seeing, and feeling. Do not interrupt. Fully validate by becoming a mirror of their low vibration without actually absorbing the energy.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it isn't person B's responsibility, though, to tell person A what their level of consciousness is that they're experiencing. That person A must come to that awareness themselves. The language of the above and below the line vibrations are on page 3 of the workbook that got circulated. Would it be valuable, folks, though, if Yolanta and I provided everyone with an example of these steps? Or, yeah, beautiful. So you know what to expect when you dive in there. Happy to do that.
I just want to let you know that the chat's been disabled.
Oh, has it? How did that happen?
So I can still see the chat, the last message being me just thinking Yolanta. She's let us know, Shona, that she can hear you talking but can't operate the Zoom.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Oh, the breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Technology, isn't it fun? Well, we're going to just try it on, both Yolanta and I. As an example, you won't be able to experience it tonight, so I apologize.
And I'm sorry, the chat has definitely been disabled. Christina's right. My apologies, Christina. If someone else could be given admin access, perhaps someone here could run the breakout room.
Oh, that would be amazing. Great thinking, Gina. Look at us.
That said, I'm not great with technology, so.
Me either. I didn't even think of that. So thank you so much for bringing the value to the session. I think Yolanta might be trying to figure that out. I'll give her a minute. While she's doing that, I'm just going to grab something quickly.
Is anyone at all able to access the chat? just out of interest?
No.
No.
Wow, I don't know what.
No.
No.
That's so funny.
Times, but it's not working.
Who has access? Just Shona?
Because I've got the share screen, I could try it. But before we try it, because Yolanta won't be able to do the example with me, so would anyone else like to do the example with me?
Would anyone like to do it instead of me? Otherwise, people will get sick of my voice.
No way. No
I
one would.
can. I'll do it, Shona.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for jumping in. So
You can't see my face, so I can't get my camera
That's-
to work. I
that's
can't get my
okay.
camera to work. So if you want
That's
someone to see, you pick someone
totally-
else.
No, that's fine. We don't have to see. It's fine. But am I talking to Gail or Naroshi? Sorry.
Gail.
Gail, just thought I'd check. My apologies.
Yeah.
So have you got your above the line and below the line vibrations in front of you?
No.
It's in the workbook on
I'd have to click off here and go and get it though.
okay. Does anyone else have it handy? Andrea, do you want to play with me for a little bit?
Just go for all the people.
Awesome. Sorry about this, everybody.
Yes, sure, I can play with you. Okay.
Awesome. So have you got the vibrations up in front of you?
Yes, do you mean the below the line and above the line,
Yeah.
or which ones?
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're
I've got
doing
it.
below the first. I
Okay.
can be person A if you like. And you can be person B, so you'll be doing the listening without the talking. And
Okay.
I will courageously share on the record me being below the line.
Okay, can I just make a suggestion, please, Shona? If you stop
course.
sharing the screen, then we can see each other. We are all on the screen then. Yes.
Is that better?
Excellent. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Sorry, I'm back. I am
Oh
back.
Yay! Cool.
Oh no.
Yes.
But the
Okay,
chat is still disabled.
so
I've got the chat
chat
mine.
is disabled.
Oh, it says chat disabled. Is
Don't
there
know
a
what's
way?
that. That's technology, but at
Mm.
least I think I will be able to do the breakout rooms if you wish to. If you wish, but you still want to do access the example.
Yeah, we'll give a little brief example, maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, I can see the chat too. Is anyone seeing the chat? Or is it just me and Yolanta?
No, I can see the chat, but it says chat disabled on my side.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
can't.
same here. Same.
So you can't write anything.
No.
Oh yeah, same. Same. I can't either.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Andrea, I sent you workbook through Messenger.
I've got the workbook in front of me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So Andrea, you still good to play with me, or
Yes.
did you want to leave
Yes.
it for a breakout room?
No, I'm good.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to tap into a low vibration. All right. So a couple weeks ago, I found myself in a moment where I had a bit of a 5-year-old tanny tantrum because everything got on top of me and I got angry. And I haven't been angry like that for a very, very, very long time. And I didn't hurt anyone or anything like that, but I threw a bit of stuff on the floor, a little bit of stuff like a tanny, and my children saw it. And then, yeah, basically I went from anger all the way down to shame. I was feeling guilty. I was crying. I was feeling like a failure because I'm a coach and I shouldn't be having tantrums in front of my children. So it lasted the whole day of me feeling really sorry for myself and yeah, crying a lot. I released a lot of emotion. I sat in a lot of discomfort. And yeah, it was really upsetting. Like I was really sad. My kids saw me cry. Yeah, that's in a nutshell. So I guess that's all I have to share at this time about my little below the line experience for the record. And you don't have to do the same in this moment, Andrea, but basically person B, you've done everything that you've needed to do in this time by just listening and mirroring and validating and me feeling okay with letting all of that out. So when I bring up something in the past, it's the only reason because I don't have something presently that I'm processing, but sometimes people presently have that processing of that vibration. So I'll leave it there. And I hope that that example makes it easier for you in the break.
I just like to add that I feel sorry that you had to go through all of that. And I think you've handled yourself very well. So I'd like to acknowledge you for that, if I may.
Thank you so much for your acknowledgement. I realized that after going through the process, it's an old pattern I play because of being a child. I would do something, I would get upset and have a tantrum, and then I would get not punished in a bad way, but I would know that what I did was wrong, and then I was, sent to my room and all that sort of jazz. But that's in a nutshell. So thank you for, picking up on that, Andrea. I hope that example kind of explains the lower vibrations. You'll both get a turn, 5 minutes each. I'm anticipating. How many people have we got on the call? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. 11 people. So 11 divided by 2 equals 5. I don't mind sitting out because I've done mine. So I might just sit on someone's breakout room with a group of 3, Yolanta, if that's okay.
So I'm going to open 5, 6 rooms just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Or maybe 5 would be enough.
Did you have something to share, Trisha? You got your hand up. Do you want to come off mute?
Thank you. I just wanted to confirm, as the listener, are you sitting there listening with intent and feeling their vibration? Not listening, but not taking on the vibration. Yeah.
100%. Yes. You are a sounding board.
How do you best describe that? You do that, like with what tools? Like, do you just simply observe and not, like, how do you not let that affect you or drag you in? Like, is there
Good question. Because there are some times where I've found myself taking it on, and there are some times where I've been able to separate myself from the vibration.
So the idea is to separate.
Yeah, letting them have the experience that they are wanting to. It's kind of like when someone's grieving and you are, crying, they are crying, and then you take on the crying. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to be fully there for them to have their own experience. And I hope that
not step into it. Yeah.
If I may share, I learned a really good way on how to protect yourself from other people's energy.
Oh, I love
Because
that.
I've been,
Share away.
yes, I have been seeing an energy healer, and she taught me how to do that. So all you do is you imagine sitting or standing or lying in a bed with 4 posts, you know, those old-fashioned beds with the 4 posts. And then you just say to yourself, shields up, and you imagine shields of white light going up all around you, like, you know, between the posts, that's the shields. You just say shields up and you're protected.
Yeah.
Nobody can enter your energy field. And
Yeah.
it really works.
Shields
My
up.
psychic medium said to me that, because when I used to go to work, it was a very toxic work environment. I had to imagine myself in this, surrounded by mirrors, just reflecting back and
Yes,
just taking it in.
that's another good one. Yes. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Mhm. So maybe imagine that, Trish.
Excuse
One
me.
of the 2 options.
Thank you.
I opened the
Yeah,
room.
I'm joining.
And can we join
Yeah,
the
I'm joining
room?
now.
Yes.
Yeah, we're joining
Yeah.
now.
Going now.
Some people are probably
I just joined
waiting.
and then
Yolanta, can you put mine up again, please? So I went in, nobody's there, and I came back out. So I don't know whether.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Come.
Sudha, can you join room 5? Is it possible?
I did join.
I'm back again because I was by myself, Yolanta.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I'm gonna move
okay.
you to room 2.
Okay.
So can you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can join it.
can you both join the same room?
Yeah, number 2. Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't have anyone.
Hello. So we can play the game here, I suppose.
Yes. Okay, let's do that.
Oh, maybe we'll go to room 5 because this is recorded here. So
Oh, okay, sure. That would be
can
great.
you open and can you join the room? Go back to room 5, Trish?
There's no button for me to accept. Yeah, like there's not a go back button.
Okay, so I'm gonna open another room, I think.
Thank you.
If I can. Otherwise, we can share if you don't mind. It will be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to share, and I will be your mirror? Is it okay?
Why not?
Okay.
All right.
So I'm with you. I'm listening.
Okay. So there was a moment just recently, actually last week, where I have moved into a new house. It's actually my beautiful mother's, and we get on very, very well. And my beautiful niece is living here as well, and she's 18, and her partner stays here a lot as well. And I've gone from living by myself to living with a house full of people. And I guess I'm so open and free, but then I realized there are some triggers that are coming up within me that I find quite challenging, and last week I got brought into quite a low vibration when it sounds so silly and petty, but when my niece doesn't clean up after herself and just leaves everything at the kitchen sink for you to do, and it's not intentional, I'm sure, but for 2 weeks I've just been, whatever, and doing it myself and watching my mum do it as well. But last week, when it happened, I went into such a low vibration, and I know it's probably, well, I know it had a lot to do with my hormones as well. And also the fact that it had been building up inside of me, that when they had left the room to go to the shop, I kind of had this explosion with my mother of, not at my mother, but just with my mother, a big vent. It didn't last long, only a minute, but I was enraged it was like a volcano going off, erupting in me, of disrespect, of why don't you clean up after yourself? Like, where is your respect? Like, yeah, and I noticed that this comes up a lot for me, disrespect. And I know I can't control people. It's not what I want to do, and I don't even want to be negative or talk about it, but I can't believe the anger that rose up inside of me. And then I just vented to my mom. How disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. And yeah, it was just, I just was so fiery that my mom's like, don't worry. And I'm like, but it's wrong. And I don't want to be this person. And that's why I love living by myself as well. However, I'm going for a walk, and I went for a long walk, and what was coming up was a bit of guilt and shame that if this is something that that makes me so fiery and angry, why can't I just sit and have a conversation and share with this beautiful niece of mine what came up for me? But I don't want to step on anyone's shoes, and I'm playing the people pleaser, but really it's an art to sit down and talk maturely with someone. And I went for like an hour walk. It took me that long for the fire to go out. And within that walk, I was like, I don't want to be like that. Then practice the tools and have a chat with her. But when I got back, my mother said, I've already had a chat with her. And I was like, no, I want to have the chat. I want to break through that. But what did you say? Like, I didn't want to rock the boat. But what is this? It's like, why can't we just talk to one another and have the courage to have the conversation? So I can see the area I need to work on, but having the courage to, just sit there and speak your truth is still something I think I'll be working on for a long time. But I know I can feel the different layers in reaching that. But also this anger that came up in me was, whoa, I hadn't felt that in a very long time, and it was very uncomfortable. Yeah, so I let it go quite quickly, but it's I didn't move in here to be in that way. So I've got to use my tools and come to a place of maturity and be able to sit down and share things. Yeah, it's a big thing for me, but yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. It's just I can really understand what you're saying. I can be with you. It must have been very painful and frustrating, and I really love your journey through that, and your reflection, and how you handle that, and how you came up with a realization for yourself.
Thank you.
This is awesome. This is, it usually starts with the awareness, and now you sharing that you are thinking about what is it that you'd like to bring on and bring the courage. And you
Yeah,
mentioned that
would.
you have a lot of pleasure in you, but you have that courage. So
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. Thanks for acknowledging that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we better take the care of others because that's been
And I'll turn my
coming.
video off and try and put the background on. I'll just, because I've been trying to do it, but it hasn't been working. But I think I have to stop my video to do it. So.
Were you able to look at the, because I was doing this from the memory, when you press stop a video, then it opens virtual background and you can then choose. There's a little plus thing.
Yeah, I'll give it a go now. 1 second. Thank you.
I can see that some people are coming back. I don't want to. Shona's still in the room by herself because Christina is here.
No, she was coming back. She clicked at the same time as I clicked.
Right.
So she's gotten lost. She's
Gone
on the
lost.
way.
So maybe I'll make an announcement. I can hold B button.
Yeah, we were waiting for the announcement.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can, we will be closing the rooms in.
Then you have to click it.
Sorry?
There's a button that you close the breakout room in 30 seconds.
Yes. Close all rooms.
So ladies, when I try to do the background, it won't let me click on the file. Is it PDF, the file, correct file?
Yeah, I've sent PNG and PDF, but it will only accept PNG.
Oh, okay.
Not a PDF. So do you have it handy there?
Yeah, only in the PNG, PDF. So
okay. And do you have access to chat?
Yeah, I'll go in there now, actually.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you.
Thank you so much.
I just done it now.
Amazing. Great. I'll just click on that.
So we're all back.
There's still a couple of people in the room. They should be out soon. They're coming back, yes. I think everyone's back.
And can everyone see the breakout room that's on the screen at the moment?
No.
No?
No, I don't see it.
What about this one, the trust safety connection slide?
No, you're not sharing your screen at the
to share
moment,
the
Shona.
Okay, yeah, I've got to go back to share. Hang on a moment. That's why.
And thank you Thank you for putting us into breakout rooms, and I'd like to say thank you to Sudha for sharing for sharing the breakout room with me. She's amazing. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for the acknowledgement, Andrea. So welcome back, everyone. Oh, sorry, Andrea.
No, unfortunately, I can't type anything into the chat. That's why I wanted to say it.
Okay, yeah, no worries. And we'll do that for the rest. If anyone has to or wants to share, don't feel free to interrupt. So welcome back. Everyone's back, Yolanta?
Yes, whoever we have, we've lost some people in the process, and I'm just trying to send a message to them to come back, or maybe because it's later than usual, maybe they needed to go.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I actually cannot stay much longer because I promised my granddaughter to bake cookies tonight, and I really don't want to disappoint her.
Yeah, no worries. That's so okay. Family first, I say.
Thank you, Shona.
That's okay. So welcome back, everyone. I would love to acknowledge my person A and being my person B as well. of my breakout room. It was a beautiful chat that we had, even though we talked a little bit in the lower vibrations. It was wonderful. Did anyone else want to come off and share about their experience, or do we want to press on? I know time is limited. Did anyone find themselves thinking, how can I take responsibility in this moment? Or how am I going to take action? Or how I did take action, or any of those things? That's okay. We experience our higher vibrations when we are above the line. 100% responsibility, self-love, choices, and opportunity occupy this vibration, beginning the neutrality vibrating at 250 to 313 hertz. This level lacks motivation and deep drive, but it does include satisfaction for our current standpoint. Courage. This is a big shifting point in human consciousness where we see ourselves beginning to respond rather than react to life. I was having this conversation in a breakout room. This is a level of empowerment. This is a level, willingness is a level of optimism and seeing the potential within challenges. And this is where self-discipline begins to form and complaints begin to fall away. Acceptance, which is 350 hertz. This is where we integrate taking action as the creator of our life. We begin to let go of victimized beliefs and push ourselves to reach our goals. Love, which is, this level is understood as being pure selfishness and charity work. It is loving others with no expectation of return, without being entangled in the desires of the ego, and is using our logic only in service of the higher good. Joy. This level is reached when we spiritually release our personal stories and identity in order to come to an unshakable place of harmony. Yolanta, would you mind reading Peace and Enlightenment for me?
Okay, yeah, I was sorry, I wasn't sure exactly what I'm doing.
That's all right. If you could read Peace and Enlightenment, that would be amazing. Or I can do it.
Oh,
It's just I can't see that line because I can't move the function out the road.
I can do it if you like.
That would be amazing. Whoever would like to do it.
It's Christina. So Peace
Christina,
is
thank you.
at 600 to 700. Oops, someone's just moved it.
Yeah, sorry, I tapped on it by accident. Is it back now?
Yep. 6 to 700 gigahertz. This point of consciousness is still categorized as total transcendence. Stillness of the mind is prevalent. Enlightenment is 700 to 1000 gigahertz, starting at the highest level of consciousness in the range of 700 to 1000 gigahertz. This level of consciousness is usually only attained by people like Buddha, Jesus, and Krishna. You can notice the powerful effects of someone at this level has. Simply thinking about them can raise our own consciousness. They have made enormous impacts on society's consciousness.
Who here is already feeling, thank you, Christina, lighter just by the description of these levels of consciousness? I'm getting that everyone has a good sense of how this energy is when we are above the line.
mm-hmm.
I won't get you to throw any language in the chat because it's not working. But if you want to pop yourself off mute, that's fine too. I know we're pressed for time, but happy to listen. And if we're all good, we can proceed to elevate ourselves into the higher vibrations in our very next breakout room. Here's the guidance before we do so. So pretty much similar. The only change is person A using the above the line vibrations located on page 3. Person A will discuss with person B which high vibrations they utilize to get out of that lower vibration. to bridge gaps between, you know, themselves and their dreams. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Yeah, I think we're good to go, maybe. Is everyone... They've got access to the instructions in the workbook. Are we all good to go?
Shona, how much time do we allow?
Just maybe a couple of minutes, 5 at the
person.
most.
Yeah,
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
I'm opening
Awesome.
the rooms to people need to be assigned. Move to room 2.
Hi, Yolanda.
Hi. Oh, I jumped to this room. It's 4 of us. How come it's 4? I move you to Hiroshi.
I might have to go.
Elizabeth, you were supposed to be in a room. I'll put you to room 3.
Okay.
If you can join room 3. Now, who else not unsigned? Karen has not joined. Assigned to... Would you like to go ahead with Karen to talk with Karen?
Me
Oh,
or
with Gail. No, with Gail. Room 1. I'm going to assign. And
I am remaining here.
yes, you are remaining and I'm remaining. How are you in Hiroshi? We can have a chat.
Good.
However, this is recorded, so
Yes, yeah.
would you like to share? Did you, because you haven't done the first part either.
No, I didn't. So it's okay.
So the whole idea is that you had an incident, you had experience in a lower vibration level, at the lower vibration level, and so the idea is that we share one another without interrupting the other person. So you will have shared to me your experience and what was going on with your thoughts. And then the second part of the experience is usually how was it that when you came back? So if you can imagine the don't have to go through the low level experience. If you can share in your head, okay, that was the experience, and then how were you coming out from the lower vibration back to the higher vibration? And if you would like to share this, if you don't mind to share this experience.
I actually missed a little bit, so yeah.
So do you remember the experience that that was something happened and you really felt either angry or feared of something, or you weren't able to handle that, and as sometime later, whether it's within an hour or within days, what was going on through your head as you were coming out from that experience?
Yeah, so I guess when I'm in a low vibration, it is much heavier. And when I come out of it, it's lighter. And there's more clarity.
Right. And so how do you, because I'm just propping you, I'm not supposed to interrupt you, but what's going on through your head as you come to the clarity?
I think it's more peaceful. more focused.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And-
And probably I'm able to think through things better. Hi, Kizan.
Hello.
Because
How are you?
have you left the room already?
Yes, me and Elizabeth. My
maybe-
partner said so. Yes, so we.
I'm gonna
better-
close all the rooms because I think the time is up.
I think so.
Yolanta, I may have to leave. I will watch the replay.
Yes, I'm not sure what would be the replay like because for quite a while there was no vision. So
Okay.
Wow, we've got everyone back.
welcome back
With a higher
Welcome back.
energy.
with the higher
Yes.
energy. Everyone's smiling. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Isn't it magnificent?
So I haven't got the light behind me, but I am just giving you a light.
Me too.
I
I
can't-
couldn't download that and put it in.
I
Zoom.
can't see anyone's faces at the moment. Bear with me. I'm just going to bring you
Oh, I
back.
can translate the faces. They all smiling.
Are they good?
It's such a big change. What happened in those rooms?
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's exactly the experience I wanted everyone to feel. I'm just going to bring my presentation back up on the screen. Can you let me know when you see it?
We can
Yes,
see it.
we do.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Shona, I have
So-
to go. Thank you so much. I
No
have to
problem
go,
at
but I will
all.
watch the replay. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
beautiful. I will definitely send the replay. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for this.
See you,
And thanks,
Nash.
Yolanta. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank
See
you.
you later.
Bye.
Bye. So welcome back, everybody. I just want to acknowledge the person in my room. What an amazing person. I loved the insights that we shared. I loved the courage and the determination to stay within and honor themselves. That was my experience. Thank you very much, person A. And did anyone else want to share, or would we push on? I know it's running really fine for time.
Yeah.
Did anyone notice when you were experiencing the higher vibrations, did you let it wash over you, or you were happy to take the energy, you know? Yeah, me too. I want to like surround myself with all the amazing high vibrational energy. Did anyone tap into their gratitude and celebrate themselves from the times, like from going from the lower to the higher, being able to understand the difference between both and how you managed to get yourself out of that time?
Yes.
Magical.
Yes.
Magical. I won't pop anything in the chat, so I'm going to press on with who here appreciates that choosing to raise our vibration and find a higher frequency elevates us to open the door of our next level of conscious thinking, being, and doing. Our goal isn't to live forever. Our goal is to create something that will. Our soul's purpose. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, anger, vanity, they all take valuable time and energy away from ourselves, each other, and our goals. Allowness, awareness, trust, connection, sounding boards, reflection, gratitude, and celebration, they are all key stakeholders in raising our vibrations. If you're ever feeling disconnected from your goals, unaligned, from your soul's purpose, or you're simply feeling the pull to lean into another level of consciousness, I would love to support you. Here is my one-to-one 3 to 6 week, 3, 6 and 12 week coaching packages. Yolanta is going to kindly drop a PDF version in the chat in case you want to explore it with me together on another call. But as a gift to everyone for showing up this evening, I will be celebrating you all with a free 60-minute tarot reading, because I love that. That is my, I love giving that to people. Yolanta, can you pop my email in the chat, please? So everyone's able to email me a hell yes in the subject to organize a free tarot reading in the future. Light, law, and love are not logical, folks. Hence, why my tarot will serve us very well. We are one who has to meet. We are one who has to meet what we want at the vibration where it is. What would be our reality if we were to spend more time in the higher vibrations? What would we hear? What would we see? What would we feel? And most importantly, what would we do? As we learn to understand the world of light, law, and love, we begin to see we are not dealing with logic. We are dealing with the harmony of vibration, sound, and the elements for which creation comes. Carolyn Mace explains it ever so profoundly. Be sure to check her out. Yolanta, absolutely drop her back in the link for me in the chat if you can. I don't know if people can extract from the chat, but that would be amazing if you could do that. So it's that time of the session, everybody. It's closing time. What are you liking? What are you loving? What are you learning? Do you have any questions? I would love to do that before we have our group photo and wrap up for the evening. Nothing.
I love that how he kept going. Continual glitches along the way. That was well done.
Yes, it's been a journey, hasn't it?
And I can't get my camera to work, so go figure.
Yeah, we've all got glitches.
So well done. It was
I'd like to share as well. First of all, I'd like to commend Shona for soldiering on where despite things were happening in the background. And yes, we took a little bit longer, but I am you know, I'm learning that the model works because see the smiling faces. And so, you know, everyone was committed to stay through this journey and everyone benefited, and the energy is different. It's not just the energy from the light behind us, but it's the energy from the faces. The energy is amazing.
Thank you so much, Yolanta. You have been an amazing ninja too, by the way, under all the circumstances. Oh my goodness. Would we like to have our group photo, or does anyone else want to have a share? I'm happy with either. I know time is limited. I will stop sharing the screen. And oh, hello Trisha, I can see you, and I can see you again, Sabta, and I can see you, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I had a bigger group. I just had like 4 people. So thank you so much, everyone, for a wonderful evening. Let's do a photo.
I'm taking screenshots, but it's just so wonderful to you know, like we had such a big group tonight, and I wish we could be all together, but life is life. People had to go, but
yeah,
just amazing.
definitely share the video for those who missed the end anyway. But has everyone, like, I know that some people have candles, some people don't. Did everyone want to just snap away?
Yeah, Joe.
Sorry, I can't put mine on. I've been trying throughout the session.
Me too, and I couldn't.
That is
kicked me out,
100%
actually.
okay.
That would be a separate session with Trish to put the thing.
That's it.
That's okay. I've got
You
a
going to
picture of you
apps?
anyway.
Do you go into apps?
Apps? What do you mean?
Where do you get into to go to have that screen behind you?
Well, I show you separately, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a separate
Yeah.
session to sort it.
Well, I got my snaps. I hope everyone got their snaps. I'll probably share tomorrow morning. Bear with me. I'm just going to check in on the chat again when I can see it. Oh, there we are.
The chat's
I
been
wonder if I
disabled.
can- Yeah, I've just saved what we've got there. So I can reflect on that later for any feedback. And oh, you can.
How about we do all excited faces, and I'm gonna take the screenshot. Just crazy poses to the screen. How about that?
Yeah.
I can't do it because I have to use my hands. So
Okay.
Spirit fingers. Did you get it, Yolanta?
yes, we can repeat it. Do once again. Do
One
just
more?
Yeah. Big poses. Oh, it's the wrong one. Wrong button. Why is this happening? Oh, but it's sorry, that's
You want
technology
me to
again.
take it? I can take it.
Elizabeth, put your can you put your face in, and we'll do just big faces. Ah.
Love it.
I think that one will be perfect.
Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking
you.
around.
Nice.
It's been a pleasure to have you in the audience. I'm still getting used to all this technology, and once I get my screen with all three things that I can manage to look at everything and everyone, it's going to be amazing.
That's right.
Thank you, Shona. It's
No
been very
worries.
engaging. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful evening. And
Thank
I look
you.
forward to connecting with you all in a tarot reading really soon.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and
Thank
by
you.
the way, were you able to download the address? Or maybe I'll send it all in the in your messages. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Have
Have a good night.
good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks later.
Bye.
Bye.